Hello everyone, welcome to Graphic Designers Workshop. Let us see how to customize column graph in Illustrator by replacing it with ClipArt or images. So let us start. Let us first create an A3 size landscape document. So we will give it a name custom graph, and we'll create. So we have created a A3 size landscape document. Now the thing we are supposed to do is we should first get the data. So to get the data, I have already collected a data here. So the data is here. I have collected the data of dog population. So how many dogs are there in each country and how many cows are there in each country. Which country has more dogs and which country has more cows. So you can get any kind of data. So we are just collected this data, right? So here we can see the countries US, Brazil, China, Russia, Japan, and also as far as the cows are concerned, India has maximum number of cows, followed by Brazil, and then China, US, Argentina. So these countries are going to follow, right? So now we will first what we will do is we'll first get the image required for our graph. So to open the image, just go to file and select place, and I will first create a graph with the data of dogs. So I will select this dog. This is a PNG file, so I have downloaded it from internet. So we will just scale it, right? So what we'll do is we will save this dog image in our library. So how to save it in our library? So simply select the image and then we'll just go to object menu, and in object menu we have an option graph, and in graph we have something called design. So we'll select the design and then we have to click on this new design. So here we have created a new design, and let us give it a name. Let us rename it as dog, right? So now we have created a design called dog, and we have saved it in this graph design dialog box, right? So we no longer require this image, we can delete it. We will do the same thing for cow. So I'll just go to file, place, and then I will select the image of cow, and then we'll scale it, and then we'll do the same thing. We'll go to object graph, and here we have the option design, and just like dog we will create a new design and we will rename it cow, right? So we have now created the images, we have saved them in our libraries. So we can delete this cow image as well. The next thing we are supposed to do is, so now we will create a graph based on the data that I have collected, right? So we can slightly increase the size of the document so that there is more space for both the graphs, for the graph of dog as well as the graph of cow. You can simply hit Shift O to increase the size of the document, right? So the next thing we are supposed to do is we will select the column graph tool, or you can hit the keyboard shortcut J, and we will start with the dog. So we have information about 10 countries which have maximum number of dogs. So what we'll do is, first we will just create a graph like this, and then we will release the mouse. The moment you release the mouse, you will see a dialog box here. So here we will be putting all the data. Right. So we will start with US. So US has 69 million dogs. So US is a leader in the number of dogs. So we will just type USA here, and then we'll put 69 to the side of this USA, and then we'll do the same thing for the next country. So the next is Brazil. So we'll simply copy this, paste it, and we will then paste the value of Brazil, and we will just do the same thing So once we are done with these values, we simply have to click on this tick mark, apply. So we can see a graph is created. So with different information, the data that we have provided. So on the left side you can see the values, on the right side you can see the nations, but the only thing is, see, the names are overlapping because the size of the text is too big. So we will fix this. So how to fix it is, see, it's very simple. Simply double click on this graph so that you will go inside editing mode. So you can also right click and select isolate selection mode. So now what you'll do is, see, here we have size. So we can select the font that we want. So we will select impact, and also we will change the size to, let us say, 30 points. Right. So now you can see all the names of countries. Right. So now we can simply right click on this button, back one level. Right. So we have now created a column graph of number of dogs in different countries. Right. So now what we are supposed to do is, we can customize this first by giving it some colors, and then we will not keep these rectangles. Instead of rectangles, we will replace these rectangles with dogs, with the image of dog. Right. So first, to give it color, so if you want to stick with these columns, you can just simply give different colors just by selecting the direct selection tool, and here we have the color panel. So if you can't see the color panel here, you can go to Windows and always select the color option here, so that you will see a color panel in your interface, and then you can select color mode, and you can give any color to each of the column or each of the rectangle. So we can give yellow for Brazil, so something like that. But we'll do something more interesting, that is, we will replace these columns with the image of dog. So how we can do that? So simply select this column graph, right click, and here we have an option, design. So simply select this design, and we can check whether we have the design of dog or not. So this is the first thing we are supposed to do. First you have to check whether this draft design dialog box actually contains the images or not. Right, it does contain. So the next thing is right click and we'll select this option column. And once you select the option column, another dialog box pops up. This is graph column dialog box. And now what we are supposed to do is we'll select the image of dog, and here we have some options: vertically scaled, uniformly scaled, repeating, sliding. So these are the options we are having. So what we'll do is we'll select repeating first. So because we want duplicates of these images, we don't want a single image, so we want repetitive images. So I have selected this option, repeating. And what we are supposed to do is we can actually start with a smaller value. So let's keep 5 here. Each design represents 5 units, and we can use this option, scale design or chop design. If you use chop design, the last design or the last dog image will be chopped off, but we don't want that. We will simply say scale design and simply click OK. So now we can see, if you just zoom it, so we can see the graph is now changed, right? But we want the size of the dogs to be a little bit big. So what we can do is simply select the image, again open the design, open the column, and then let's put a higher value. Let's keep 10. So now you can see size is big, but we want still a bigger size. So again right click, open the column, and let's keep 20. Let us see how it looks. Okay, 20 is really big, but one thing we'll do is let's not keep 20, let's keep it around 16 or 17 is better. We have to do some trial and error here. Okay, we'll stick to 15. Right, 15 looks nice. So we have created a column graph of number of cows in number of dogs in each country. So we can simply create a title here. So dog population in each country of the world, and we can say in millions. Right. So we have customized the column graph here. So we'll do the same thing for the cows. So simply hit Shift O so that we can expand or increase the size of this document. There's more space. So now what we'll do is we'll just create the same thing, but this time with the information about cow. So again, select the column graph tool, simply create a graph. Then to make it easy, so I will just put all the data here and get back to you. So now I got all the data related to cow. Now all we have to do is simply just click on this tick mark, apply. So we can see this is the information about cows, right? So before replacing, so we will again go into editing mode, or what we can do is simply right click on it and we can say isolate selected graph. So now we are inside the editing mode here, and again we will try to change the text size. The text size looks very big, so we don't want this much big size here, so we can keep around 30. Let's see, 30 is too small. I think 50 is better. Right, the only thing is you should ensure that the text is not overlapping. The country names are not overlapping. So we'll just put 45 here. Right, now it looks better, and you can simply click this back button, and now we are back to the original the graph mode. Right, so now what we can do is, see, we will replace these columns with the image of cow. So for that, what we'll do is simply again we'll right click and select the option column, and this time we'll select the image of cow, and let us not change any value here. So last time previously for dogs we have selected repeating option. This time we'll just keep vertically scaled and check how the output is going to be. Just click OK. So we can see the cow image is not repeating. You can see all the single image of cow for all the different nations. So for India we have a very bigger cow. For Brazil we have the next bigger cow image. Right, so what we do is we will change it again. So we'll again right click and select the column, and again we will check the option repeating here, and what we'll do is we will put a bigger value. We'll again put 20 here, so we can see many cows. Right, but 20 is too big, so what we'll do, again we'll select the column graph, select the option column, and again we'll keep the value 15 here. Okay, so still the image is too small, so what we'll do is so we'll again go to the column option, and we'll keep 3. So 3 is very small, so we'll increase it. We'll keep 30. Right, 30 looks fine. Here in China the last image got squished, right? So we'll just do one final change here. We'll put 40. Right, so now it looks better. So this is how we can create a column graph with images. And another thing is, see, in case you want to change the text or change the data again, so we can do something. See, we can simply right click and we can just select the option data here. So here you can change some of these values. Let us say we want to change the text here. I think for India I is not capital, so I will just type it again, I capital, and then just click again. So we can see capital, and also we can change the values here. So let's say for Brazil I will keep only 200, and let us see how it looks. Okay, so now we can see the Brazil column is little bit small. Right, so the final thing we'll do is, in case you want to give colors, you can give colors, and if you want to come out of the graph, what you have to do is simply select the graph, go to object, and we have to select ungroup. So if you select ungroup, you will no longer be in the graph mode. You cannot change the data again. So it will be like a normal object. So if I click on this, so you'll get a warning message here. The selection contains a graph. After a graph is ungrouped, you will no longer be able to access its graph style, its data, or change its graph designs. So if you click yes, so now it becomes a normal editable image. So you can give colors to this. You can ungroup it again and you can give different colors. So for India we can give orange, so something like this. So this is the column graph, and the last thing we'll do is we'll just duplicate it, and we can simply change the word dog with cow. We can make it big, and also we can make it big. Keep it over here, and we can also make it equal size. And arrange it in this way. So one last thing we'll do is we can give some background. We'll give a lighter background. So we can give a creamy color background. Right, and we will send this rectangle behind the graph. Something like this. So this is a column graph of cow as well as of dog. So you can get any kind of data here. And the final thing that we are going to do is we will be exporting this. So we'll simply go to File, Export, and we'll say Export As, and we'll be exporting it as a PNG file. So simply we will just put the name dog and cow population data of countries, and simply click on export and just simply click OK. So we got the graph which has the information about dog and cow population of the world. So this is the final thing. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. So if you have anything to say, do comment, and if you have not yet subscribed, do subscribe, like, share, and see you again.